Hello, Method Summer School students. My name is Mrs. Brown. If you are in this instructional session with me, that means that you have me for music appreciation, art appreciation, or psychology. We are going to go through this introductory PowerPoint. You may know all of the information in this PowerPoint already, but nothing will be hurt by you going through this information again. In fact, you'll be more prepared to be successful this summer school. So let's go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat box, or we can, or at the end of the session, I'll go ahead and start going over any questions that I see pop up in the chat. So our agenda, some things to know: grading, instructional sessions, the drop deadline, and final exams. We'll be going over all of these things, as well as some successful habits along the way. So let's talk about attendance expectations. You are required to log in to do coursework daily, Monday through Friday, except for the holiday, the 4th of July. Students should log in for as long as it takes to get the assigned work for the day done. And when I say the assigned work for the day, what I mean is you'll be receiving a pacing guide. It may or may not look like this one here. This is a Music Appreciation A pacing guide. If you receive this one, that means that you need to complete all of these assignments here today. There's 4 assignments, in addition to needing to be done with your orientation course as well. And as you're going through the pacing guide, you would want to write down the date you submitted it and the score that you received. And use this as a tool to help you get through the assignments at an acceptable pace so you don't fall behind. You're welcome to move ahead, but I would caution you against going too quickly so you can make sure that you really understand the material. And you'll notice that at the end here, for the last day, it says 7/11. That should give you an extra day or so to be able to finish and still have time to do your final exam. So I'll be emailing everybody a pacing guide based on the class that they're in. Not everybody's in music appreciation. You may be receiving one for art appreciation or one for psychology as well. Okay. As far as other attendance expectations, you should see in my letter that I sent you that daily attendance is mandatory Monday through Friday. You should be working a minimum of 2 hours per course each weekday, Monday through Friday. If you're taking a single class, you would work for a minimum of 3 hours each weekday. I'll be tracking your attendance daily. If you are absent for 3 consecutive days, you will be dropped from the program. So please make sure that you are not absent for 3 consecutive days. If you are absent, there is offline work that will be assigned to you that you will need to submit to me to make up the work that you missed online. Makeup work must be submitted to me within 2 days of your absence. There are a variety of different ways that I might have you make up your work, but it won't be just the assignments that are on your pacing guide. Those still need to be done. However, you'll be getting something different. So one example of that might be a journal entry. I may have you write a 1/2 to 1 full page response where you're looking to answer any of the following questions here. So there's quite a few questions that I may have you answer, but you'll need to do a 1/2 page to a full page in order to earn credit for that day. As far as instructional sessions go, you're required to attend instructional sessions with me twice per week. If you look at the letter that was sent to you for art appreciation, that would be between 2 and 3 o'clock on Monday and Wednesday, so today actually counts for the first one. Tuesday and Thursday would be music appreciation from 10 to 11, and Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 3 is for psychology. This session today actually counts for everybody. So, since this counts as your first weekly meeting, art appreciation, we won't meet again until Wednesday at 2, from 2 to 3 o'clock. And music appreciation, we'll meet on Thursday from 10 to 11. Psychology, we will meet on Thursday from 2 to 3. But of course, if you have any questions in the meantime, please reach out to me via Remind, email, or call. Okay, all of my contact information is here, and we'll go over that again near the end of this presentation. For the instructional sessions, you can join them by clicking on Join Session in your SmartBlocks class, or you can click on the link here. It says https://zoom.us, and then this is my individual code. So once you click on that, it should take you to my room. Most of our sessions, I will have you muting your microphones while I go over important information with you. And then near the end, I will answer any questions that I see pop up in the chat box, or I may unmute your microphones to have you guys engage verbally with me. If you are unable to attend an instructional session, you need to let me know ASAP. I may have the opportunity to be able to have you do an instructional session with another teacher that teaches the same class, or I can have you view the recording of the session, because I will record all of them, and have you write me a summary of all of the important things that were gone over in that session and then submit that to me. Grading. Grading is based on a cumulative average of all of your assignments. So that includes quizzes, tests, regular assignments, everything that you do throughout the whole class. It's the average of all of those assignments. This means that any incomplete work will be included in your grade as a 0, and that will hurt your grade. So please make sure you don't have anything left over that you haven't completed. Your grade will be based on a standard grading scale of A through F. 90% and above is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79% is a C, 60 to 69% is a D, and 0 to 59% is an F. Drop policy. Students should be well informed at this point that they have 2 weeks from the start of their class to drop a course with a W. W means withdraw. So that will end up on your transcript. However, it just means you withdrew from the class. It doesn't mean that you got a bad grade in the class. Students working beyond the drop deadline will receive an earned grade. So if you had a D in the class, that will show up on your transcript if you work past the withdraw deadline. And transcripts will be sent to your school. Students who complete less than 70% of the course will earn an I on their transcripts. I stands for incomplete. So if it's a class that you have to have for graduation, or a class that you have to have to fulfill A through G requirements for college purposes, if you have an I, you'll definitely want to make sure you redo that class at another time. Students who demonstrate they're not going to be able to successfully complete all enrolled courses will be counseled on which courses they will remain enrolled in and which to drop. Okay, final exams, very important. Final exams must be proctored by method teachers. In order to take your final, you must have the following: a working webcam and microphone, or a computer with these built in, and a picture ID. You can have a school ID, a California state ID, military ID, I don't care what it is, it has to be a picture ID. If you don't have all of these materials, it's really important you let me know as soon as possible so alternate arrangements can be made. And speaking of final exams, you should have received an email from me with a link to the form to sign up for your final exam. And there's also a link here in my letter. If you click on this, it will open up this form here. It says Finals Date Time Request for Session A. Session B students, you will not do this yet. And in fact, Session B students, all of this information applies to you starting on July 17th when your course starts. Okay, so you will not be meeting with me at all the rest of this week. Everything for you will start the week of the 17th of July. But this is still important for you to know because you'll still have all of these same resources, just with different dates and times on them. So you'll go ahead and choose 2 different days and times that you would like to take your final. Your first choice is the one that I will do my best to accommodate. Please make sure you put your name here. In fact, you have to put your name there or the form won't let you submit it. So put your first and last name here, make sure they're spelled correctly, and then choose your first choice, the day that you would prefer to take your final. If you're one of those people like me that just wants to get things out of the way, you probably want to do it on Thursday at 9 a.m. But if you want a few extra days to study, you can do it on Monday at 2 p.m. So go ahead and choose the time that works best for you. Your second choice is the day and time that you would prefer if you can't get your first choice. So I'm trying to make sure that you can get something that would still fit your needs. So whether it's your first or second choice, please make sure it's a time that you can be there to take your final exam. And then you hit submit, and I'll get that information and create my schedule. Okay, let's go back to this. And that's it for the PowerPoint that they wanted me to go over with you. Let's see. There is some more information in here that I'd like to go over with you. As far as my contact information, this is the number for the school, and this is my extension, so this will go straight to my cell phone. If you don't get a hold of me, please leave a message, and I'll get back to you on the business day in which I receive it, as long as it's before 4:30 p.m. My hours are from 8 to 4:30, so if you need to reach me after that, you can send me a remind text up until 6 p.m. After that, go ahead and email me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can the next business day. My email is sarah.brown@methodcs.org. We talked about my meeting room already for Zoom, and then these are my remind codes, and I'm sure most of you have used remind in the past, but if you haven't, on your cell phone, you would just open up a new text message, and in the box where you type the message, you would type the ampersand sign, so the @ sign, and then type the code that matches the class that you're taking. So if you're in Art Appreciation A, it would be @AppArtA2, and then put this as the phone number 81010 in the text box. You could also do this from your computer just by going to remind.com. If you don't have a text feature, if you don't have a cell phone, you can still use Remind. So you would go to Remind, you would create your own account, and then it would ask you for this information as a student, and then it would add you to my class, and I will be notified when you are added to my class. So either way, you can get a hold of me quickly using Remind. And as a side note, regarding communication, I do prefer that we use Remind because it's the fastest way to get a hold of me. I always have my phone on and near me, but I'm not always right next to my computer. So if you need to get a hold of me, the phone is the easiest way to do it. Let's see, we talked about meetings, access. If you haven't gotten your login credentials, the most likely reason is because we have not received your master agreement form. So please check your email, check the spam folder, check the junk folder, and it would be coming from a Method School's email address that I believe says no reply or something along those lines. And your parent may also need to turn their form in too. We cannot give you your login credentials until we have your master agreement signed by yourself, your parent, and your teachers. As soon as those are received, then you will be getting your login credentials. Also, before you work on any of your academic courses, you must complete the Method School orientation course. If you're not able to access the orientation, please let me know immediately. This is an introduction to our online platform, and it will help you become comfortable with navigation of your online courses, submitting assignments, creating your daily schedule, etc. This is a mandatory course and must be completed before you begin your requested courses. Okay, and let's see, anything else here? Academic integrity. I know that you've probably had this information given to you already, but I just want to quickly talk about what plagiarism is and isn't. So we all know that plagiarism is serious, and if you do it up to 3 times, you can actually be withdrawn from the school, and you'll have a note placed in your permanent file. So please don't plagiarize. Plagiarism is not just copying from the internet. It's also having somebody write things for you. It's having somebody do your work for you. It's having somebody dictate answers to you. So if it's somebody else's words, not your own words, it's considered plagiarism. And as a teacher that's been doing this for going on 9 years now, in language arts and history, plagiarism is very obvious to me, and I will double check answers if I think that they don't sound like the student actually wrote them. So please make sure that all of your work is written in your own words. If you do use an outside source or information from a lesson in your responses, you need to quote the information, put quotes around it, And then at the end of the sentence, put in parentheses the source. So if you got it from Times Magazine,